We heard from a film director whose latest work features the women behind India's successful Mars orbiter mission. Now let's speak to one of those women. She says that Asia's space technology industry is booming as China and India are rapidly scaling up their space programs. After 23 years in the Indian Space Research Organization, our guest now leads the design and engineering department at Centum Electronics in Bangalore, a space and defense company. Veena Nagaraj Rao joins us now in our studios. An honor indeed to have you on the program. Why are China and India ramping up their space programs?
The space program is a very much required program, and already we have so many satellites and probes orbiting our own planet, which is Earth, which is a requirement. But going to deep space, people are still thinking, because to invest so much of money, the risk involved is higher, and the people are questioning. Even the government is questioning whether it is required, what is that we are going to gain from it. But it is a requirement because we have to explore the unexplored. We have to look into what the other planets are having. Is it required? If we have to go from our planet to the other planets, is it really required? Can we move from one place to another place?
But of course, the race to the moon has also intensified between the Chinese and India. And of course, India recently almost succeeded in landing on the moon. Unfortunately, the moon lander did not. What lessons can be learned from this experience?
Yeah. Actually, I would say there are three portions in the Chandrayaan-2. That is the orbiter, the lander, and the rover. The orbiter is orbiting around the moon, and it is working fine. It has got many payloads, and we can find out from the payloads what is the environment in the moon, and we can do some experiments. Whether water is available, whether water molecules are seen, whether ice is there. Those experiments can be done. But with respect to the lander, in the last minute, it was around, when we saw that it was around 30 meters was there for it to be landed, that time it crashed.
What is currently the challenges of the space tech companies, particularly the private ones, in working with the government in pursuing a space program?
This government always, they support it, because the money is from the government, so nobody is at stake. But it is the money of the people, the taxpayers' money is there. So people will think, they think, before spending they think, and they ensure that everything is 100% success. And they do a lot of simulations, they carry out what exactly happens there, and they build in a lot of fault-tolerant, error-tolerant features so that risk is mitigated. But still, 1% the risk is involved, and we have to go by it. And the lessons what we learned during the failure is much more than the lessons.
Thank you so much, Veena. I have to jump in. Thank you so much for joining us on Asia Business Report. And that's it for this edition of the program. I'm Rico Hizon. Bye for now.